In this video, I will be giving a short introduction as Tang Soo Do, as it is taught at Jaenam Training Academy. I will start by going over our 5 basic stances, and then I will move to showing you how to move up and down the floor as we would in our group classes, and I will be instructing 2 of our basic blocks and 2 of our basic kicks. You should be able to follow along with this video and get a feel for what we do in class. So let's begin. First, I'm going to take an attention stance. So most people know what attention stance is, but just some quick notes. Attention, we have our feet together, our hands will be at our sides, our shoulders are square, our head is held nice and high, and our back is nice and straight. This posture is used at the beginning of class and while we're waiting in between different exercises. The Korean word for attention is choryet. So the instructor in class would very oftentimes to get the class to come to order, we'll call choryet, and we'll all come to attention stance. From attention stance, we can do our bow. Our bow is to show respect to each other, because that's what martial arts is about. It's showing respect to each other and having respect for ourselves. So to do a proper bow, we bow at the waist, down, nice and slow, back up to show respect to the person that we're bowing to. So that's attention. Moving on to our next stance is a ready stance. The Korean term for ready is chumbi. So to do a proper chumbi stance or a ready stance, you would take your feet, place them about shoulder width apart, make fists with your hands, and your hands would go in front of your belt knot or right below your belly button. From choryet, instructor will call chumbi, and you would snap into chumbi. Again, for chumbi, your back is nice and straight, your head is nice and high, your eyes are forward, and it's soft bend in the knees so you're ready to move. You're not too rigid, but you don't want to look too relaxed either, so we're ready to go. So chumbi. The next stance that I'm going to go over is a horse stance, okay? So horse stance is a little bit wider with the legs. This is a deeper bend in the knees. You get a nice quad workout from this stance. Back still nice and straight. You don't want to bend at the back. From here, we can do our punching exercise. A lot of our forms have horse stance. It's just good for building stability in your legs, building a good base for yourself. We need a good base when we're practicing martial arts. So a horse stance is, again, my toes should be going straight ahead, parallel, feet are parallel to each other, and I'm solid in this stance. It's good side to side, not so much from front to back, but strong. Okay. So the next stance we're going to move to is a front stance. Front stance is the weight is now going to be distributed forward. All right. Most of my weight is my front knee, which is bent. My toes for my front leg are pointed forward, but also my back toes should also be pointed in the direction of travel. My back leg is straight, my hips should be square, my shoulders are square, my back is also nice and straight. All right, this is to provide power moving forward. You'll see that when I show you how to move through this stance. It's also great for building some great leg strength and get a little bit of stretch out of this too. So lots of benefits to a good front stance, and as you get better at it, you want to push to get it lower and lower. So front profile is this way. If I do a side profile, I'm here. And again, beginners will have their feet about shoulder width apart, and my toes are facing the way I would travel. My hips are nice and square, my shoulders are square, my back is straight. Most of my weight's in this leg back here. All right, and then I'm ready to go through my front stances. I'm ready to do marching drill. The last stance we're going to do is a fighter stance. Okay, so opposite of the front stance for fighter stance, my weight's going to be in my back legs. So to take a proper fighter stance, my feet should be perpendicular to each other, 90-degree angle. My heels are in alignment with each other, and there's about, if I kneel down, I should be able to almost touch my knee with my front heel, and that's about the distance your feet should be apart. Okay, so some people like to lift their heel up on the front leg because there should be very little to no weight on that front leg for a good fighter stance. So maybe they'll pick it up and use it if I need to use a front leg kick, and I can maneuver quickly into another position from this stance. So my fighter stance, both knees are bent, back is still straight, my hands are up for protection, and my shoulders on this one, I'm turning my body away from my direction of travel, because if you think fighter stance, I'm trying to hide my targets. So if I'm sparring, I don't want to be able to hit me here, so I'll turn my body away from somebody trying to strike that, make it harder for them to get towards that center line of my body. So here's my fighter stance from front profile, from the side profile. Again, perpendicular feet, bending the knees. I'm sitting in that stance, a lot of weight in this back leg, hands are up for protection, and my shoulders are in alignment squared here this way. So somebody's looking at me from this way, they can only really see this front shoulder, okay? Hands are up. So that's fighter stance. So we're gonna use all of those stances throughout this lesson. So let's start with the chariot, and then we'll move to our chumbi. Good. And we'll start out something really simple. We'll do a punching exercise. So to do a punching exercise, we're gonna step into our horse stance. So we'll step up with your left, and you're gonna step into your horse stance and drive out a punch. So your punch should be into your center line. We're focusing with our 2 knuckles in the front, the very first 2 knuckles. And my punch goes in and down, because I'm aiming at solar plexus to where my solar plexus would be mirror image. My backhand, I'm going to tuck it, what's called the chamber position, when we're talking about our hands, and take it, I'm going to pull it up to my high ribs and tuck it in with my elbow back this way. So to do a punch, I'm going to pull the front hand back and push the other hand out. So nice slow punching done this way, proper speed. I would just switch and pull. So the pull on the punch is just as important as the punch itself. I would really want to pull that front hand back as I drive the other punch out. And that's where that snap comes from. If you see somebody's been practicing for a long time, they've got that down. So that chamber will come up in our blocking session, but it's punches. Let's do a couple punches together. So we'll do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Awesome. All right, so we'll take it back to chumbi, and we'll shake your legs off, because horse stance, you should be able to feel burn in your legs. All right, so we went from horse stance, now we're going back to front stance, and I'm going to show you how to move in front stance first. Because when we do blocks to get some repetition in, we will march, what's called marching drill, and move up the floor. So to take your front stance, we always start with our left, so put your left foot straight ahead. Remember, your knees bent, your back leg is straight, your chest is high. So when we move through our front stance, we do what's called a C-step. So you're gonna make a half a circle motion with your back foot as you move and settle forward and move up the floor. So I'm gonna take my back leg, I'm gonna bring it towards my front leg, and then see it out to settle into my front stance now with the opposite leg forward. So then I'll do another one this way and back down, and then we'll take one more and down. Good, so we'll take a couple steps back. I'll show you sideways how that works. So again, left leg forward, my back leg sees up towards my front leg, and then I step out and to settle into the stance with the new leg forward. So let's see, up and down. And as you do that, you should feel your hips move. All right, if you're watching the video, you see my belt moving, that's because my hips are swinging back and forth. So if I were to do a turn, I look over my straight leg, swing it out so it's my shoulder width, pivot so that both my toes are now facing forward. So then if I was going to march back up the floor, I would do the same C-step. All right, so that's the C-step we're going to use for our blocking. So as I mentioned, we're going to do 2 blocks. The first one is going to be a low block. All right, so we're going to say from chariot, move to chumbi, ready position. So as you start your low block, I want you to bring your hand, which you start with your left, cover up, bring your fist towards your opposite ear. Now, as you step forward with your left foot, I want you to bring your hand down, across your knee, and then pull back that other hand in that chamber position we use for punching. So to do the next block, as I move forward, I bring that back hand up across again, that was previously chambered. As I step out, I'm going to bring the hand down for blocking and pull the other hand back up. So I'm going to do one quicker one to show you what it looks like all the way through. Good. All right, so I'm going to take a couple steps back. I'm going to do 3 low blocks. You can practice them with me towards the camera, and then I'm going to do 3 low blocks side profile so you can see how they go across. So towards you, it's going to be 1, 2, 3. Good. I'm going to move back, going this way. Give you the side profile. Step through 1, 2, 3. Good. Okay, so that's low blocking. We do lots of low blocks. Most of our forms have low block. Most of our classes will use low block at least one time, so there's plenty of repetition for that, and then you always practice on your own. So we're going to move to high block now. We're going to start from the same position. So from chodiet, tension, chumbi, ready. All right, so we do a high block. To do a high block, you're going to start by bringing your hand across your waist. As you step forward, you're going to bring that hand in up, across your forehead, and then stop right where you would think it would block sun from your eyes. All right, and I'm blocking with this portion of my arm here, the forearm. I'm not using the hand at all. I want whatever is going to make contact with that forearm. And again, I'm pulling that chamber hand back nice and far. So to do the next block is I bring my feet together. That chamber hand now curls across. Now as I slide the foot out, the hand rises up above my head, and I chamber the opposite side. So you notice as I'm blocking, my blocking hand, it always matches my stepping foot. So blocking hand, stepping foot, always together for these basics. So again, I'm going to go through, step across, and up. All right, one more time. I'm going to do 3 towards the camera, do 3 to the side, a little quicker speed. Again, you can follow along at home. So I'm going to do 1, 2, and 3. Awesome. And then we'll do it to the side now, so you can see the side view. Stepping through 1, 2, and 3. Good. All right. So that's the 2 basic blocks. There are a few more, but 2 is always a great way to start. And then as you get better at those, we'll add more blocks on. So we're gonna move on to kicking now. To do your kicking, we're gonna use our fighter stance. So we'll start from chodiet, it's our tension, chumbi, ready. Then we're gonna step back into a fighter stance. Okay, so our kicker stance. So our hands are up, we're guarded, and before we do any kick, we need to know how to do a proper chamber with our legs. So when you do a proper chamber with your legs, you bring your knee straight up. All right, it should be as level as you possibly can get it. Your foot, you want to try to pull those toes straight up, because whatever kick we're going to do is going to place that foot in the proper position so that we can strike. All right, so then let's put that foot back down. So a good chamber, boom, and then we'll put it down from there. So let's do one more chamber, boom, and down. So if you have a really good chamber, you can do any kick off of that chamber. Okay, so if you get really good at the chamber and you get better balance, it's really hard for a person that's, let's say for sparring, as you go down the line, to be able to predict what kick you're going to do, because you always start in the same way. So a chamber is very, very important because it ensures you're going to have a proper kick. So first kick we're going to work on is a front kick. The striking surface of your foot is going to be the ball of the foot. So if you take your foot and you roll it up to the floor, your ball of the foot should be touching the floor. Just thump that there, that's the surface you're going to be hitting with if you strike a target or something like that. So put our hands up, and we're going to chamber up, and then front kick is just as easy as it sounds. I kick straight, re-chamber, and then put it down. Do another one, bring it up, out, down, again, up, out, back, and down. So let's move it back a little faster. Go 3 towards the camera, 3 towards the side. 1, 2, 3. Awesome. So move to the side, going this way, same thing. 1, 2, 3. Back. You notice the whole time I'm kicking, I'm trying to keep my hands up. All right. You might think since you're you think you're losing your balance, you're going to bring your hands down or do that, or kind of do that trapeze artist thing. You're trying to cover more ground. Doesn't work for us. You start reaching towards the ground, you're going to fall towards the ground. So get in a habit of keeping those hands up, keep your center, keep your energy in. All right. Next kick we're going to work on is a side kick. We're kicking off the side of the body. So this includes a pivot. So we're going to go from our chamber, pivot your body over. You're going to drive your heel now off of your hip, bring it down and through. And that's a side kick. So again, I'm going to chamber, I'm going to pivot 90 degrees, drive my heel, bring it back and down. One more slow one for you. Chamber, there's the 90-degree pivot, driving the heel back and down. So let's bring it back. Let's do 3 towards the camera, 3 towards the side, give you 2 angles to look at, and I'm follow along with. So, side kick. 1, 2, 3. Good. Now I'll go this way. Here. 1, 2, 3. So that's the 2 kicks we're going to work on in this video. So hope you got a lot out of this. It's just a short introduction to our Tang Soo Do classes here at J-Nom Training Academy. Give you a taste of what you would get to experience while you're taking class with us. Hope you enjoyed it. Attention. Okay, yeah. Thanks for watching.